Hi, today I'd like to share a little bit about a fantastic book that I've recently read. It's called All About Love by Bell Hooks. And what to say about this book? This is, we're only in August practically, but I feel like this is going to be the best book of the year, possibly one of the best books of my life. And I'd like to share a little bit about my impressions about it, and keep it registered somewhere. I think this book is classified as self help, but in my perspective, it is not a classic self help book because it doesn't give you. It does not give you suggestions. It does not give you prompts on what to do, or even things to think about. It does not do that. I'd classify it as a more reflective book about love, and it was so enriching. I think in my life so far, this has been the most enriching book I've ever read. I'm about to reread it soon. And I would not say this is a book for everybody, although although the message in it should be, in my opinion, a message for everybody. I don't feel like everybody would enjoy and would really see the message in this book because um, I feel like people who would appreciate this reading would be people into self-development, spirituality and awakening topics, and I think people who are really willing to have their egos crushed in the sense of gaining accountability for their actions, and therefore start acting in a more loving way with others. One thing I found very interesting about this book and very important is the book is about love, but only one of the 13 chapters of this book is really focused on romantic love. This book is about loving as a life ideal. It's about loving community, it's about loving strangers, it's about, like she says here, like Bell Hooks says here, having a love ethics through everything. And I would like to mention the chapters we have here, just so we can understand better what this book is about. I've I've already recommended this book to so many people, and I cannot do it enough. So, introduction, Grace, touched by love. Here she talks about how love is a how about the potency of love. I often see people talking about how they're thinking of revenge, and how, I don't know, they want to teach someone a lesson because of what the other person uh, has them suffering, because of how the other person made them suffer. And I understand this, but I do not agree with this. I feel like love is a very much transformational tool, a very much transformational, a much more transformational um, power rather than revenge, or paying on the same coin, doing what the person did to you in exchange. I do not believe in that. And here she speaks about how sometimes a person coming from a toxic environment, coming from limiting beliefs and things like that, how uh, sometimes it only takes someone really seeing them and loving them in order to not fix their problems, but in order to make it easier for them to reestablish hope and um, a hope and clarity and a pathway to healing themselves. And I do believe that a lot. So this was introduction. Chapter 1, clarity. Give love words. In this book, she talks a lot loving, about love as a verb, not as a something I feel only, but as how I put them out in the world. Because um, it doesn't matter much if you say you love someone or something and you don't act on it. She questions here, is this love? And so yeah, 1, clarity, give love words. 2, justice, childhood love lessons. So she talks a little bit about this matter of this matter of love through the childhood perspective and its importance during the childhood. 3, honesty, be true to love. This is very nice because um, when you're honest with someone, you are loving them, in my opinion. Of course, you don't have to, and you should not be rude, but I do think you should be honest. Commitment. For commitment, let love be love in me. Um, 5, spirituality, divine love. And here she talks about awakening and the feeling connected to something bigger. 6, values, living by a love ethic. This one I loved so much because I think, anyways, I have a lot of thoughts. But yeah, I'm not going to open this up so much. But 7, greed, simply love. So here she talks about how, like, someone too greedy, someone too ambitious might be killing or making love a harder thing in their lives. If they're only focused on the material, this type of thing. 8, community, loving communion. 9, mutuality, the heart of love. 10, romance, sweet love. 11, loss, loving into life and death. 12, healing, redemptive love. And this one, I think, was the one that touched me the most, but all of them are fabulous. Are fantastic. I don't know why I said fabulous, but yeah. 13, destiny, when angels speak of love. So yeah. Anyways, this book was amazing. I've seen some people speak bad things about it, but I don't remember, and I cannot think of like what bad could be talked about it. It does not romanticize love, in my opinion, because these are things I've always found important, and then I could see things reunited in a place, and it was, I don't know, it was fantastic. And I wanted to do something bigger with this book because, like I said, I have a lot of thoughts. I think this message is very important. Probably not for everybody in probably not for everybody at the same time some because some people might not be willing to look at these things. They might judge these things are not important, and that's okay. That's their opinions, that's their journey. But I do think this message is important, and I wanted to, I don't know, print this message in me and forward this message as I can. I had an idea. I'm going to probably read this book, like recording this book, and while I read it, and I'm probably going to put it in Google Drive because I don't think I can publish it on YouTube. And then I'm going to leave the link in my Instagram bio probably. I I do not check the comments in my videos. There are not many, but I've seen there are some. I don't check them because I feel scared of, I don't know, people saying mean things to me. But I am going to be checking this video's comments specifically because if someone, I don't know, wants to see it, I can share this link. But it is probably going to take a long time for me to uh, record it because I think the book is about 5 hours long and I'm not going to do it once in a row. So I might take weeks to do it. But anyway, this book is amazing. I loved it very much. And I do recommend it for people who are interested in these things. Yeah. If you're not into self-help books, I'm not very into self-help books myself, but I really loved this one here. It has a different idea. It has a different concept within it. It doesn't tell you to do things. It doesn't suggest you to do anything. It just reflects on things and calls us to be responsible for making our community, making people in our lives feel more loved, and call us to love ourselves more, call us to be responsible and take accountability for things, rather than being in a victim mindset that the world is happening the world is happening to me and I have no control. So I think this is very important. This is very amazing. And yeah. So thank you very much if anybody watched it, and bye.